go. Now we're live. It's the morning. It's the morning now. It's love morning. I'm gonna tell you how. We changed the name to Presence Practice, and I forgot. And that's why this song started right from the top with the old name. But now we're Presence Practice. Okay. Seem to have been eating frogs this morning. Well, they do say eat the frog, right? Isn't that the isn't there a book called that? Eat the frog. Eat the frog. If you got to eat a frog, eat it first thing in the morning. That way you've eliminated the option of being vegan all day. I think that's the premise of the book. Oh, I don't know. Welcome to Presence Practice, this daily gathering of intention and energy and gratitude and a chance for all of us to come together. Whether you're watching this live through Facebook or YouTube, or you're watching a recording on either of those places, or whether you have hacked my system or my brain and you're finding your way to this message, this vibration in another way. Hello and welcome. It is morning time for me. It is 9 a.m. on the Pacific. I'm in San Diego, California. Sky is blue today. Oh, it is matching my shirt. If I walk around outside, I will be camouflaged, just a head bobbing around on the horizon. Oh, if you're here and you join us and you're live and you're called to, would love to hear what you are grateful for. Also, would love to hear feedback at some point if you have issues with the broadcast itself. You know, if there's frame rates or if out of sync. I'm continually trying new things, and I think the new camera setup is working nicely visibly, but I'm worried that the having to use the old computer is making I don't think the old computer can keep up with the rigors of streaming software. I don't know. We'll find out. Gerbot is here. Oh, happy 420, he reminds us. Thank you. And you know what? Gerbot, it was so good to see you yesterday. Gerbot came to was it the noon or the evening gratitude? You know, I do this every morning at 9 and then noon and 6 almost every day. I host a gratitude circle. It's happening every day. I host it most days. Not going to be there today, but most days. And so it was so nice to see Gerbot's face and share gratitude. This is beautiful as well. You know, our energies are shared, but a Zoom connection, it's a different type of intimacy and beauty, and I really appreciate it. So I'm grateful for having to share that moment with you and the others who were there yesterday. Pamela, good morning, Pamela. Pamela's saying, have I ever thought about doing a podcast? Why, yes. In fact, if you look for Stay Sparked, that is a new podcast that I'm doing with Janus and Betsy, and it is about self-growth. That's what we should call it, self-growth. Self-growth ideas, a lot of Burning Man vibe in and around it. But Stay Sparked is the one that I've got the most momentum on right now. There's also Hard on the 80s, formerly Gratuitous Boobs, where I talk about 80s movies and try to find the beauty and the ickiness in them with my brother and Shonda, or my co-hosts. And then also through YouTube, Hug Nation is a podcast as well. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but it asks, so would you like to list a podcast? And since the Hug Nation videos are generally just me talking, it works for the most part as a podcast, I think. Lisa says, I need some self-growth. Growth! Yeah. Growth. Maybe that'd be I should jot that down as a potential name. I love thinking of new brands and things. Growth. If that URL's available, I'm grabbing it. Oh, good morning, Brandy. Hello to you in Connecticut. Brandy is wicked grateful to be able to have my windows open for at least part of the day. Yay! My podcasts are on all the things. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. If you go to my site, johnston.com, there's links to the podcasts on there as well. Growth. That would be a good t-shirt. Although you might have to self-growth have to be on it, because growth, it almost sounds like something a dog would say. Growth. Good morning, Natasha. Hello to you. Happy presence practice. And hi, Lisa. Good to see you. Lisa is always nice to see your face in gratitude, and nice to see you in the morning as well. Lisa says, I'm grateful that although I accidentally missed my virtual doctor appointment, but instead of charging me for it, they just rescheduled since it's the first one I missed. Whoo! Also grateful I found a bunny pen, brand new on Marketplace. Nice! Natasha is grateful for a slow morning today. More time to obsess over my new houseplant growth. Yes, houseplant growth. What kind of growth? I am grateful today. I'm grateful that I made it through yesterday in a healthy way. I didn't have my day very well scheduled, and so there were things that I was going to do, and then I didn't do it, and I was not then. And sometimes if I am not very productive with my time, some inner judgment kicks in. And I have to be careful of that. Like, do I feel good because I'm productive? Because that's tentative. That is conditional. And so I had a moment where I was kind of starting to beat myself up a little bit, and looking at my calendar, I go, you don't have a full day in a long time. Like, if you're going to like prepare for your trips next week, you got to do that packing now. And then I got kind of paralyzed thinking about the trips. And then I was like, oh, I'm not doing good. And guess what? Guess who came to visit and speak up? My new cheerleader. I wonder if she's a she or a he. I don't want to be sexist and say a cheerleader has to be a she. But my cheerleader said, "You're kicking ass." So I was like, yeah, I'm kicking ass, man. Just because this is a momentary feeling. Don't get spun out on this momentary thing. Because I started to, like, I didn't feel good. And I'm going to take this as a huge win, actually. I became aware that I wanted to change the way I feel. Even though I'm not totally, being able to identify exactly how I feel, I knew I didn't like the way I felt. And so I noticed that I wanted to eat, and I did eat some. But I did a couple things. One is I got a protein bar, and it's low sugar. It's as far as treats go, it's not like a sleeve of Oreos. It's a protein bar. And instead of just like shoveling it in my mouth, I sat on the couch and I made an activity of, I'm going to eat this consciously. Now, did it change my state? No. But while I ate it, it did. And I blissed out chocolatey goodness. And then I still didn't feel great. I still felt. So I did some breath work. I did one of the breathing techniques that I learned at holotropic breathing. Now, I didn't do a full 3-hour session. I breathed for like 5 minutes. And then I did some sit-ups and some breathing, and just kind of changed my state. So that's a fucking win. You're right. My cheerleader could be a they. In fact, maybe my cheerleader should be a they. Oh, should. Ooh. See what you did there? You should. I know. to try to help me practice using pronouns. I was getting ice cream last week and with a friend, and they were, so should I get in a cup or a cone? I go, you got to get the waffle cones. She just made them, because they make them on site. And then I realized, did I do that wrong? The person appeared female presenting, but kind of like punker-y. So should I have said they just made them? Is that the appropriate thing to say to a human being that has not told me their pronouns that I don't know? Should I say they just made the waffle cones? And then I was kind of like, because they were working and their head was down, I'm like, are they stewing and going like, this hetero cis dude just called me she? Of course, that's not what happened, because eventually I was like, as I was paying, I'm like, I don't know if this is the appropriate way to do this, but what are your pronouns? Because I'm like, is that a rude thing to say? Like, what if that is insulting? Like, what, you don't think I'm femme enough that you have to ask? I don't know. So I just asked, and she's like, well, she, her? I'm like, cool. All right. Well, because I said she, but I realized that I didn't know if that was appropriate or not. She's like, I'm just trying to learn. She goes, yep, we're all trying to learn. So it was cool. But I don't know I don't know if you have feedback on that. If anyone can tell me is that the right thing to do currently? To say, I'm having dinner and the person who is taking my order said the chicken is delightful, and my dad goes, what did he say? Do I say they said the chicken is delightful, even if they look like what I have traditionally known to be a he? Oh, I'm just gonna get out of this. I feel like I'm in a danger zone. Never mind. Who else is still here that I have not repelled with my not thought out morning thoughts? Welcome to Presence Practice. We are sharing gratitude. If you're something that you're grateful for, would love to hear it. Hello, CJ. Good morning. Good day to you. First time viewer, CJ. First time live joiner. Well, right on. Remember the ship. Okay, what's ship? I think you're going to explain it. Storm has its purpose. Ooh, I like that. Thank you. Brandy suggesting I write lists, multiple lists, one for each area or whatever. Just check stuff off as you go. I swear, just seeing a couple boxes checked off will inspire me to keep going. CJ agreeing with that. CJ saying, pronouns, man, if your heart is in the right place, that's what matters. I feel the same way. And I think, and the other thing that I was talking with my brother recently, that they're really, part of being an ally and being a safe space is you need to be able to be wrong gracefully. You know, so let's say in that situation, the person that I was talking to did bark back an answer or tell me that I was wrong. Like, or actually, a better example, what if they didn't bark back? What if I just said, she just made the cones, and they said, actually, I prefer to be called they. Now, what often happens is, because my intentions were good, I interpret what they said as criticism, and I go, well, I didn't. When I think, ally growth, safe, progress-oriented mentality is like, thank you. I will work on using the correct pronoun. Thank you for helping me be better. Good morning, Brent. Hello to you in Florida. Happy noonday to you. Natasha says, I say they for everyone. I don't know until they give me some indication otherwise. I also still fuck up all the time, even when someone tells me their pronouns. Me too. Sometimes I will sometimes get it right, and then a couple sentences later, slip. I think that I haven't felt attacked in a while, though. So, but I'm, yeah, it's a process. And so this is something that I think about sometimes. Look at me, I'm like touching my body. That's one of my homeworks with my therapist that I'm seeing today. I see two, don't tell them. I'm cheating on each other. But one of the things that I've been trying to do this week is just be more aware and in my body. So if you see me fondling myself, it's therapeutic, okay? Doctor's orders. You can't masturbate in here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. My doctor said I should be touching myself and getting in tune with my body. I've got a note. Here you go. I forgot what I was talking about. Just that the framework of the world and culture. I grew up in a framework that contained gay people, even though there was massive judgment towards them. It still was an easier transition for me to change. That judgment is ridiculous. But gay people have always been a part of the world. Trans has not been a part of the world that I was born into. So there's not a category, there's not a section in my mind categories that I can just, work with. So there's old patterns that just go, and they just don't even have the category. So it's like inserting a category is a bigger stretch of my brain than removing negativity around an existing category, if that makes sense. Anyone else have something they're grateful for? Christopher is here. Good morning. Christopher is grateful today. It's the 2-year anniversary of Chip Chat. Have 3 bags ready to rip into in a couple hours. Christopher has a video podcast, video show, video blog about Chip Chat. He tries different salty, savory treats and talks about them. It's really fun. Hello, Ash. Hello. Happy presence practice to you. Ash is grateful for the opportunity to rescue the kitty that came to us last weekend, to be visiting a friend this weekend to celebrate her birthday. Yay! Tara is grateful for the sun shining on my face and the love in my heart. Love it. Love hearing these gratitudes. Oh, I got something to share in a moment. Let's see. CJ saying there's no guide yet. It doesn't exist. Corey, how do I experience an outer body? Good morning, Corey. What do you mean by an outer body? Corey said, as I turn 46, I believe I'm having what is called a question for everything. Life, death, afterlife. Oh, that is actually can be a very beautiful thing. I was just sitting with Ladybug, who is going through she's a deep spiritual thinker and very well read in areas of deep spirituality, like with dealing with these questions of like, how do you move beyond the perceptions of reality that your mind makes into seeing true reality with a capital R, which is free from the meaning that we put into things. Now, and that's that whole concept. I mean, if that just went through your head, yeah, right, because it's like a whole different realm than the world that we're existing in this moment, where we are dealing with the outer world and our experiences and our likes and our preferences and our dislikes and our goals, and all that stuff is in this realm of the mind and the ego, and there is other realms. And I think maybe that's what you're peeking into and stumbling into. And that's why the experience of the body is one that is not in the same thing as the physical mind perceived world. There is, realms of the heart and realms of intuition, realms of a wisdom that I'm like the infinitest of infants trying to discern, like, wait, what was that sound? What was that? My body? I don't know. Hello, Evelyn. Hello to you in France, correct? Yes. It is 6:15 p.m. A beautiful sunny day. I am grateful to have found a way to entertain my husband, who has had Alzheimer's for 4 years, and make him laugh. That is beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And what an awesome example of gratitude practice. Thank you for finding a silver lining, some element of beauty. A gratitude practice is not saying, puppy dogs, puppy dogs, puppy dogs, puppy dogs, rainbows. It is saying, whoo, wow. Look at this storm. Wow, it washed out the road. And I'm grateful for this rainbow. And I'm grateful that I have the means to get off this mountaintop and eventually fix this road. Good morning, Amy. Happy Freedom Day to you. Hello, Izzy. Izzy is, I think, back in Barcelona. I don't think you're to Ibiza yet. Grateful for a session with your chiropractor today. Nice. I'm speaking to people on Facebook and YouTube, so hello to you both. If you hear other voices, we're all in this intentional space beyond the physical. Doesn't matter where your feet are, it matters where your heart is, and we are in Hug Nation, and you are love ambassadors. All right. Corey's in Montgomery, Alabama. Oh, currently in Southern California. I'm in Southern California too, San Diego. We've got Pacific Northwest here. We've got the East Coast. We've got France. We've got Barcelona. Let's see. We've got Alabama. Alabama says, a red state, open anything other than religion is hard here. A mushy, loving hippie who looks as I, with the integrity to stand up against hate, is not easy, but I love my life. I don't think about that too much, because I sometimes struggle with social anxiety. And I gotta be careful how I speak about that, because I'm getting better at it and I'm working to confront and experience it. I actually went to a kava bar yesterday, and I was really centered and calm as I went in. And as soon as I went in, and there was like a lot of people and a place I'd never been, and a whole dynamic, like lines of people trying to order, and luckily I had a friend there and they kind of guided me. But I was like, okay, this is one of those experiences that I react to. So let's see how I can do with it. And actually, I thought about, in my morning meditation, it came up to me like, you should go back there. You should go back and just really allow yourself to feel whatever it is that you're feeling in this social anxiety place. But I bring that up because I'm doing that in Southern California, and I basically fit in there. I would, but how much more my struggle would be if I was in Alabama. So much respect and admiration for you standing in integrity regardless of what the world is reflecting to you. Bravo. If we're not friends on Facebook, I would love to connect on Facebook. I'm John Stinn / John Stinn. I probably have no friends there, but if you send me a message, no, actually that won't work. But follow me on Facebook, and then we can stay connected that way. And if you're on Facebook and you don't get these notifications for the lives, if you follow on YouTube, if you subscribe on YouTube, you should get a message saying John is going live, Hug Nation is going live. At one point, I had a text message that went out to people to let them know when these went live, but it was costing me a significant amount of money because it's geared towards like marketers and stuff. And so maybe we'll do that again, but not right away. Natasha asking, did I see Eva's post about ecstatic dance? I did not. I will have to check that out. I love her very much. She's awesome, although I've not seen her for a long time, but we used to cross paths in different post-Burning Man and Burning Man circles. But she is someone who's, I think, got a very grounded and important voice in the world. So I will look forward to that. Pinkheart has a Facebook, I think it's /Pinkheart Camp. You can always send me a message here. Actually, if you go to johnstinn.com, I'm going to give you what's the right way to get in touch with me. An email or Facebook message or an Instagram message. If you say, hey, you mentioned a link, or what was that about this, or how do I find Pinkheart, or I will do my best to share. Most of my stuff is all my links are at johnstinn.com, which is JOHNSTYN.com. And I'm typing it into YouTube and Facebook right now. Ash saying, social anxiety is a bitch, but it does have lots of good opportunities to look within. Yeah, I've been really into the Untethered Soul, Michael Singer, and his podcast, and his kind of ongoing explanation of doing the work is you feel excited when you get an experience like I'm describing. If someone says something and you get triggered, or it doesn't feel good, or if I get that experience when I am in a social anxiety situation, the desire is to make it go away. And so it continues to be stored. And so his advice, his description of this is the rest of your life is doing the work, is when you notice the things that come up, you allow them to be expressed and felt, and then you let them go. And that's how you continue to get more and more at peace, by letting them be expressed. So that is a huge part of the philosophy that I am working from right now. I'm also trying to get out of my head so much. As my therapist that I'm seeing today says, the mind moves fast, the body moves slow. So I'm always like, wait, what can I do? Think and do, think and do, think and do. And the body is like, you gotta let it happen, man. Good morning, Janet. Good morning. Good day to you. Corey's saying, I have also been practicing a chant, a Buddhist prayer, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Cool. I hope I didn't do any disrespect by saying that aloud. We will have, it's 9:30 for me. So we're going to have a hug in just a moment so that I can put on some pants and make my way to therapy on time. But we got a few minutes if anyone else has some gratitude that you'd like to share. I am grateful that I have therapy today. And grateful for this kind of awareness of a shift in my awareness. So even as I'm doing the things that I've always done, I'm also aware of, I'm more aware of my awareness in a kind of meditative sense. I'm more aware of my thoughts, aware of my discomfort, aware of urgency, aware of impatience. I was hiking the other day, and up on this mountaintop, I think I stayed much longer on the mountaintop than I would have in the past, because I kind of had a thought of like, okay, time to go. And I was like, is it? Where do we have to go? I've got a jacket. Why don't I stay? This is really lovely. And I think that, that too was an example of me being aware of my awareness. Like, oh, what part of me is saying time to go? That's an old pattern of urgency. What's next? Think and do, think and do. Natasha's saying, quote, "That's a thought, not a feeling," says every therapist who has helped me ever. Yeah. I really struggle with that. Like, how are you feeling? And I go, unsettled? Is that a feeling? Yeah, I keep, that's a place where I just have to have so much faith. Like, okay, I'm going to get better at this. I'm going to get better at this. I'm going to get better at this. Don't lose faith. Janet saying, I'm grateful to be here with you. Me too. I'm so grateful for this practice. It has... I went to this integration circle recently, and actually I skipped a meeting that I have been going to because it has such a beautiful opportunity to share here, and I don't have the same hunger to express, because I have this incredible opportunity to be vulnerable and honest and authentic every day. Have a good day, CJ. And so this morning practice that I have now, waking up at 6, stretching, running, cold shower, meditation, writing, and then this, it's like this really, really wonderful opportunity for me to ground and express, that I'm doing on a daily basis. I just passed 1,000 minutes of meditating in the last 8 weeks. And, I'll say, since I've been exercising too, I just broke the 40 push-up barrier, which for the longest time, I couldn't get past 35 push-ups. So look at that. And to address what Brandy just said, it's not about getting better at it. And what I mean by that is, like, if I can't hear, or if I can't tell the difference between a Merlot and a Cabernet, I want to get better at being able to notice the differences. And I feel like currently I can barely tell if it's red or white wine in terms of the feelings that I'm having. So I'm trying to get better at, to develop a more acute sense, to develop my ability to perceive. I heard that in this book that that Ladybug was sharing an idea that you cannot hear the heart until you have obliterated the world of the sensory world. And I'm like, oh, okay. Corey's suggesting a deprivation tank. That is something that I've never done. So that's a good idea. Janet's saying I've been in the goo phase of a metamorphosis reference for the last 4 months or so. So me sharing my recent journey has really helped me feel less lonely in your introspection. That's awesome to hear. And it actually, like, it's been really grounding knowing how many people have said similar things. You know, I think there's a lot of reasons in the world why a significant number of people have been kind of dragged or pushed or for whatever reason kind of faced with transition. You know, if you need the world to be a certain way to be happy right now, you're fucked. So that kind of helplessness in this crazy world, I think, is steering a lot of people to go, okay, let me figure out what's going on. How do I become self-actualized, or how can I pursue an inner truth that will allow me liberation from this insanity? And from that liberation, you can celebrate and live in awe and wonder instead of getting caught up in the, why can't this be different? Why is this? No. So, I love you. Amy's got a float plan. Awesome. Well, let's float more and steer less, as the shirt will tell us. And have a hug as we close this morning session. So wherever you are, give yourself a big squeeze. Feel appreciative of this body. Feel the zing of inspiration from all the gratitude that people have shared. Let ourselves be inspired and gain wisdom from one another, recognizing that we're all interconnected, being inspired by the ripples and humanity of one another as we take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and you, all of you ambassadors of love, thank you for being here for this presence practice. I love you. See you tomorrow.